All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We had a little bit of a break for a week, but
Well,
we're
given that I was on my period, not happening.
yeah, yeah, same.
No, it's
Same. See
really
see see when you do a podcast together, your cycles become in
we're
sync.
sinking.
So
Yeah,
literally we're syncing.
we're sinking. And I
the
had a miserable week.
the, ti- the Titanic be like, we're sinking. So
We're sinking. Oops.
oh my god. Anyway, but we're recording live this week from Pelican Town, you know?
Pelican Town and wherever I'm crossing,
You're a
you're in
tropical
city folk,
island.
I guess you could say.
City folk, yeah, you could be, yeah.
In the
So
city.
if you hadn't guessed from the little intro, we're delving into the world of cozy gaming.
Yes.
Cozy gaming that involves a lot of farming, I guess,
Yes.
fishing,
Yep.
those
Decorating.
variety.
Variety.
Yeah, yeah,
These are my
and
two. I would say these are my top two like cozy games:
uh-huh, yeah,
Animal
yeah.
Crossing, and then Stardew Valley.
And Stardew Valley, yes,
Well,
yes,
I didn't know that because I first played Animal Crossing City Folk,
yeah,
and I played it on the Wii, so I didn't know
mm-hmm,
there was anything prior to that,
yeah,
and that was in 2005 or 2008.
mm-hmm,
So the first one came
yeah,
out in 2001.
yeah, yeah. That was the original, because the original was on the GameCube, I
Yep,
believe, was the
yep.
OG. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you have Wild World, which I think was also maybe. Oh, that was on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and City Folk is where I started playing it.
Which is wild to me because I also owned a Wii, so I don't know if I just like I don't know if I think it came down to the point where like I only bought like 4 or 5 games and I would just like play them like over and over and over again because I really don't know, and I don't know if it just didn't sell as widely as it should have. I don't know how I never came across, because if I would have found Animal Crossing when I had a Wii, I feel like that would have been
Oh,
exactly my cup of tea.
it was, yeah,
Like I don't know how I didn't find it. I was too concerned with the Hannah Montana tour game, I
oh
guess,
god.
and
I was
we
big
and we
on
we we music. We music was my shit.
Wii Music,
We music was
and
my
I
shit.
just love because you could do like the singing, and it's like the
Uh-huh.
harple. Like, oh my gosh, that game,
One
and
of the one
also
of
a
the
classic
albums.
Wii Sports,
Mhm. Oh my god, yeah. Please.
Mario Kart. But City
Yep.
Folk was,
I don't think I ever played Mario Kart. I had friends that played Mario Kart because I never had the attachment, because the Wii, you can only do so much with the actual like,
yeah,
what's it called? Joystick? I don't know. The thing that if you didn't put the
yeah,
strap on, it would smash into the
yep,
TV.
yep,
Like,
yeah, the joystick.
but they had the whole attachment where you would actually put it into the wheel
Yes,
for like racing games, and
you
I never had that attachment, I don't
yeah, you
think.
didn't
But
need it, but it
yeah,
made you feel so much cooler. It's like,
yeah, because
oh, I'm
otherwise you
like
were
10
just
years old and
tilting the
I'm
controller on the
driving.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of the games I played were the ones where I just held it in my hand and just did the
Yep.
actual like motion.
Yes. I was
So
also really big on the Just Dance games. I think I had about
yeah,
five or
yeah, yeah,
six of
yeah.
those.
I think I only had one. I think I only had
Oh,
one, but then I remember when I got to high school, we had like this thing where like we would do like a little like, if we couldn't have like gym like outside, or we didn't have regular gym, we had another thing where like we would do like gym like in like a room, and somebody had a Wii and we would just like
yep.
play on that, and I played. That was where I played Just Dance a
Yeah.
lot because it's a good group game. So
Yeah. And it's
I don't
easy just
remember
to.
what the one was. I specifically remember the one with the Rasputin dance. Rah,
Yeah,
rah, Rasputin.
I think that's the third one maybe.
I
But
think
I
so. I
had
don't
at
know. I
least the
specifically
first
remember
five or
whichever ones.
six
And
because
they're
it
still
was,
going today. They're
and they're
still going
still,
today.
yep.
Yeah, now they
It's
moved
kind
over to
of
being
like
on
the
Switch.
now that's what I call music, where they're
Yep,
just gonna always have.
it's a great comparison. Wait,
Yes,
wow.
it's
And they'll never die.
it will never die. But for
Eternal.
Animal Crossing, I think you definitely would have liked it because this one,
Yeah,
I mean, I never
it's
played
blowing my
the.
mind. I don't know how, I really don't know. Like, I want
And
to go back in time and like direct little me, because I would always get the games in like Toys R Us.
yeah,
I want to go ahead, go find City Folk, because
And then
It
also,
would have
like, I'm
definitely been for
surprised I
me.
didn't play Wild World because I had a DS. So I don't know what was
Mm,
going on then. But City Folk,
mm.
I just remember just loving, and I don't know why Animal Crossing is like this, but I would spend so many hours fishing.
Yeah. Hey,
And so, and
years
like,
later, I did that in New Horizons a
yeah.
lot.
And I guess it is because there's that whole story, well, not storyline, but like you have the aquarium. So you do want to catch every bug and every fish so that when you go
Hmm.
back in the, I guess, museum, you can see it all. So I guess
Yeah.
that's the whole point. But I was hardcore, and my mom would be like, "You're just fishing," and then
You're
I
just,
would, but I,
bro, it's not that serious. You're just,
but it's like, how can I spend an hour of my time literally just standing at the ocean fishing?
hey, no, I was literally the same way with the sports. Like, if I didn't like get a certain thing in tennis, I would just sit there. I
Oh
must have
yeah,
looked insane. I must have looked insane, just like going back and forth, just,
yep, yeah,
just like 15 love. And my mom was like, "Go to bed."
yes, and yeah, and this one I thought was, well, back in the day, I thought it was the coolest thing because you could take a train to the
Uh huh.
city, and then when you'd go to the city, you would have um, Red, and then you would get to go and you could buy his paintings. No, fingers crossed they weren't, fake. Um, and you could buy balloons from like this guy at the cart, and then Gracie's there, and Gracie's what are the people that own the store in New Horizons? Mabel?
It's not, oh, are you talking about like the with the
Hedgehog.
clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Able sisters.
Able sisters.
Yeah, yeah,
Gracie's
yeah.
their
Because then you got
sister. Mabel,
Mabel, Sable.
and then Gracie, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Well,
I
well,
think.
not Gracie, but Gracie's like the fancy giraffe that owns this really expensive, nice store, and then the Able
Okay,
sisters.
wait. I can't be. I've played. Regret not regret. So I don't regret a second of it. But I played an incomparable amount of hours of New Horizons to not know the third Able sister's name.
And she doesn't work.
Hold on.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
Label. Right.
Label, yeah.
She's the one, and it's funny because she's the one that has all the designer clothing,
Yes.
and her name is Label.
Yep.
That's funny.
And then she works for Gracie. And I just remember
Okay.
because it was very hard to get money. And so
Mhm.
I always like, you'd go in and they would have like the sets of things. So like they would have the
Mhm.
wallpaper, the rug, the bed, the clothes, but it would all be the same pattern. I'm like, this is so cute. It's really ugly, but this is so cute. And then I'd go to buy the bed and it'd be like 10,000 bells. And you're like, I can't afford that. I'm cheap.
Oh
I know I
man.
can't. But
Yeah, like
City Folk was, I thought it was the coolest thing being able to go to the city. And then they also had
yeah.
a thing where they had a marquee and then you would go in and you would see a show. And then you would learn like a
Oh
new
wow.
emotion.
A
And
new
then you
emote.
can,
Yeah,
yep.
that's wild.
That,
And now they
yeah,
just like add them in. Like you don't have to do that now. Like
yeah,
I think the main thing that everybody says about like how the games have like evolved over time.
yeah,
And my fiance, Craig, the first game he played was New Leaf, and he's like, I can't believe the changes even just from New Leaf about how things
yep,
are like. It's a different way that you quote unquote like earn things. Like
yeah.
there's not as much of like you have to do work for certain things, and they did add more like customization. But before it was like you were working. Like it was a
Mm-hmm.
grind for certain things. And
Yeah.
like they were not always nice to you either. Like I
Oh,
used
yeah.
an emulator. I used an emulator on my laptop to play the original one just because I wanted to see what the difference was.
They were rude as fuck.
Ooh, those
Oh, they
villagers are
were.
bitchy. They were
Yes.
mean. Somebody called me ugly. I was like,
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I forget. I think it was the OG one that they would just rip you a
Uh-huh.
new one. And even
Yeah.
City Folk, they were kind of rude. But I don't know
Yeah.
why I like that aspect because
I thought it was
I
funny.
just, it's so funny. Maybe as a kid, you get butthurt about
Yeah.
it because someone called you ugly. But like
Yeah.
in New
I
Horizons,
think
like there's They don't say anything remotely like
No,
that, and I'm like, "Oh,
no,
come on, like,
no. And when you've
no."
played as many hours of it as
Yes.
we have played, you get to the point where it's like you know the types of villagers and the lines that they
Yes.
say because they're kind of like regurgitated
Yep.
with the different like personality types. And I don't think that was the case originally. Like I think they were all just like
Yeah.
like a more not more lines, but maybe they didn't really have like fleshed out like personality types.
Yeah.
They were just like this one says this and this one says that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
I
I
wish
played
yeah.
New Leaf. I played New Leaf a bit.
Oh,
On
yeah. Was it good?
yeah, it was cute. It was wild going from that to because New Horizons was obviously my introduction to
Yeah.
the game. I mean, that was like that was so many people's introductions to the
Yep.
game, and Nintendo really cashed on that one because they were like cashing in on the pandemic. They were like,
Oh,
"Oh my god,
yes, and I
we are
do
offering you an
remember
island escape with cute animals and cute things, so you can
yes,
forget about the hell that's going on in the world right
and
now."
I
You
remember
know?
because I didn't have a Switch then,
Yeah.
so I remember when they announced that they were making New Horizons, and they were
Uh huh.
coming out with the Nintendo Switch New
Yeah.
Horizons version,
Mhm.
and they told you what stores it was gonna be at, and
Mhm.
it opens at midnight. So, like,
Yeah.
when you go online at midnight, you can get this. It's going to be more expensive, but you can get it. So I stayed up until midnight and I was on Walmart's website and it would not work. For whatever reason, it just would not let me purchase it. And I was like, great. And then I think the next day, I just went, we actually went to like a Best Buy or something and I bought it. And I was so mad because I wanted the one that looked like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was peak COVID times. So New Horizons was where everyone had it. And everyone was streaming it. It was everywhere.
Yeah, I mean that just I know that it was like a big thing and it was like very popular, but that just skyrocketed it
Yep.
to another level.
Yes.
And it just yeah, because and I think I don't know if maybe I mean it's cute and it was such a big thing and like it was on Switch, so I feel like a lot Switch is like a lot more people have that system, I feel like,
Yeah.
versus maybe like older systems because it's just like more people as time goes on are playing video games. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because when we were younger, it was like video games were a thing, but not everybody played
Yeah.
them. Like there was it was like obviously because technology changes and it's getting better and better, but I wonder what the difference would have been if it wasn't. I feel like even like more people are playing video games, and then on top of it, it was like the pandemic. Everybody's in the house.
Yeah. So, like,
Everybody,
there's
you know what
nothing
I
to
mean?
do. You're working from
Yeah,
home. Your kids are
yeah,
stuck at home.
yeah,
Like, you got to figure
yeah,
out something. And the Switch
yeah,
was the easiest thing. I feel like
yeah,
because Nintendo has more kid friendly games
yeah. It
compared to
definitely
like
is more geared towards children than
PS4
other
or,
games.
yeah. And
Yeah,
so it was easier to get on games like this, and then you have all the Mario games. So the pandemic really hit, and like the amount of money Nintendo made during COVID. I can only imagine like how much.
yeah, yeah. And it's like from games that they don't even like keep on. Like it was even games that they released for like a limited amount of time because
Yep.
they did this thing. Speaking of Mario games, they did this thing where they released three they called it Mario 3D
Yeah.
All Stars. Thank God we got a physical copy of it
I was
because
yeah.
it's not even the digital copy is not even on the store anymore, I don't think. It
Nope. And
was
I
like
tried to get it,
the
and
yeah, yeah, and it was like Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and then Galaxy,
yes, and I'm so
I think.
mad because I played Super Mario Sunshine was my favorite, and I had it
Mhm.
on the GameCube.
Wonderful.
And then I was like, oh, do I? And then I also had Super Mario Galaxy. So I'm like, do I really need to get them again if I can
Yeah.
just play them on my like Wii? Because you can play GameCube games on your Wii. So I was like, do I
Mhm.
really need those two? But if they're remastered and they look better, like maybe I should, and I never did. And then one day I
Yeah.
tried to go on and buy them, and it's not there, and I'm
Yeah.
so mad.
Well, I mean, we do have the physical copy, so there is you can play them. You
That's
can
true.
borrow it
Yep.
if you want. But yeah, I just think that's ridiculous too. They were just like, no, we're not going to keep it on there. I'm
Yep.
like, okay. But I will say that made me discover Super Mario 64, and honestly, that game made me rage quit a couple
Oh,
times
yeah,
'cause
I
the
played it with my
controls
ex.
are so impossible.
I played it with my ex, and
Oh,
I forget which system I played it on.
loser. No, he's a loser.
He is.
Sorry.
But I played it with him, and I was raging the entire
Yeah,
time.
it was.
It's rough.
I got to the part where I don't remember what it is, but you have to like slide down. Like basically a slide.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
and it's very thin, and you have to keep going. And the way you would just slide, I would get so
Oh yeah. No,
so.
games like that make me rage so hard, which is
Hmm.
why I like games like this because I can play them.
Yeah,
Well, Stardew Valley sometimes makes me rage depending on what I'm doing,
the
but
fishing,
fishing
the fishing,
because
the
like
fishing
with
in Stardew.
Animal Crossing fishing, it's like you just wait
So easy.
and then you're like, oh, I got it,
It's
and then
literally just
yep,
it's literally just you have to listen for the sound.
yep,
Like Stardew Valley, you have to sit there. Like I sit there like a mad scientist with like
yes,
one bead of sweat like just dripping down my face, and I'm just like, why won't you stay in the little
yes,
bar? Like, please.
and
It's ridiculous.
yeah,
And when you get up to like when you first start, I think it's way easier because obviously you're on like lower levels and you have less like leveled up your fishing and everything. But when
yep,
you get up there now, and I'm on like year like whatever is it, I don't know, 4 or 5, whatever year I'm on,
yep,
and it's like now you get the more complicated fish that have them, and then you have to get the special tackles on your
yes.
fishing, and then sometimes it doesn't help. But I'm just
Yeah,
like,
and then
God,
you
why?
need a special like lucky lunch or like a dish that's gonna give you like a
Hmm.
bigger area so it's harder for the fish to get. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's
concerned ape said we got to put some type of difficulty in
yes.
this. So we got to sprinkle something in there.
So like it
That
is
and
like the same kind of mindset where it's like, oh, a nice farming simulation game, and then
hmm
you do fishing and you're just like, okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I didn't know
And you know
also Stardew Valley came out
what?
in 2016,
Oh wow.
which
I don't know why I said. For some reason, I thought it was older than that.
I
I
thought it was
really
like
thought it was older than
2022
that.
or something.
No, I thought it was older than that. I thought it was like it getting updates or something, but for some reason, I thought it was gonna be the range of like 2012, 2013.
Really?
For some reason,
I don't
I
know
don't know.
why I was.
I always thought it was like PC because I always thought it was like a
Yeah,
PC eccentric thing.
yeah.
But
I
now,
always.
obviously, it's on like consoles.
Yeah, I
Consoles.
didn't
Sorry,
realize.
I said
Yeah,
I turned that word into consults. I guess.
yeah.
See,
I
my
didn't
job is just
realize,
infiltrating every part of my life. Oh
and
God.
I would have never guessed. I thought it was later on.
Yeah.
I thought it was like maybe 2021, 2022.
So
No,
we were both wrong. Sorry.
you were. And do so. What's your favorite part of Stardew Valley?
Sorry about it. Where do I begin?
Well, yeah,
Honestly, hmm. It's just I guess I don't know. It's just there's a lot to love about both of these
yeah,
games. That's the thing. These games are what I like to call like a definition of like a time suck. Like you will sit down and play and
yep.
be like, "Oh, it's been 5 hours. That's wild."
Yeah,
You know what I
and then
mean? Or
in
it's
those
been
5 hours,
even
like, what did
longer.
you actually do in those
No,
5 hours?
no, in pandemic, I was in it because at one point it
Oh
was
yeah,
like the combination of like when I was in between jobs, so
me
like
too. Yep.
unemployment plus pandemic plus the Animal Crossing. I'm like, oh,
Oh, I would spend.
I
It
spent
would be
12
like
hours
2
making this
a.m.
customized.
And I remember
Exactly.
when Animal Crossing came out, and I think I tried to pre-order it, or I thought I pre-ordered it, but somehow
Mhm.
I didn't. So then I
Yeah.
had to order it when it came out. And so you
Mhm.
and Craig were already in the middle of playing it and starting it,
Mhm.
and I was still waiting
Yeah.
for it to download. And I lived with my
Yeah.
aunt who has the worst internet known to man. Like it is so slow. It takes like 5 hours.
Sorry, Andrea Zan, if you
Yes.
ever listen to this.
It takes like 6 hours to do a download that should take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or like if you're
Rip.
updating anything that's even remotely large, it takes like 2 days. And it's
Yeah.
terrible. So you guys were playing and talking about it. I'm like, I haven't started yet. It's like,
Yeah, I was
no.
not trying to spoil. I
Oh
was
yeah.
just like, oh my God, this is gonna happen.
But
Oh my
now I
God,
have
can't
my
wait till
own
you see
so
this.
now I have my own place and my internet's great. So it's fine.
Yeah.
But you were the one that got me into
Freedom,
Stardew Valley.
adulting,
Yep.
hashtag adulting.
Yes, but you were the one that got me into Stardew Valley.
Yeah, and
And
I'll be
Gab
honest,
Smolders, because I was watching Gab play it.
shout out. We love Gav on the pod.
Yes.
She's great. Great
Yes.
creator. I watched her play in Stardew, and then I've also watched her play. I think it was the Disney that game that's basically
Oh,
like
Dreamlight Valley.
Disney Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Yep.
And because so I watched her play the original playthrough of Stardew Valley, and then she made like a remixed version where she did all the JoJo Mart stuff. I didn't bother watching that. And then
Mhm.
she's starting a new series again with the new update.
Okay.
And she's
Yeah.
also dating, for those who don't know who she is, but she's dating Jack Septiceye.
Yep.
So you might know who he is.
Gamer
Yeah.
couple. Gamer
They're
couple.
so
We love
cute
that.
together.
Yeah, I
But
know.
Stardew Valley is, even though it is like Animal Crossing, where it's
I guess
very,
maybe we want to talk about like the differences. Maybe we could talk about
it's
like the
more rage
differences. Like, what are
inducing.
the
Well,
honestly?
because
Yeah,
Animal Crossing, I feel like it's more simplified.
it's harder to like if
Yeah.
the only times I think I've ever like raged or close to raged with Animal Crossing is like if there's something that I'm trying to do and it's not happening. Like I think the one things that would make me mad is when I would try to be a completionist with certain things.
Yes.
Because Animal Crossing is like Stardew. The difference is the time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you are timed. Like if you sit, you can literally if you're on Animal Crossing, you can literally sit on your island and just leave it and it'll
Yep.
basically be fine. It times lapse as like a regular day does.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Stardew, if you sit somewhere and like you forget to put like
Oh, you're
yourself
pissed
in a
off.
menu,
Yep.
yep, exactly. Or you're just like, God damn it, I meant to put like a pause menu, and now it's like 8 o'clock, and I
Yes.
thought it was like.
That's frustrating. And then
hmm
I think with Animal Crossing that made me rage is
Yeah,
the fishing wasn't that bad.
no,
It's
not at all.
the
You literally
bug.
just have to listen for the sound. You just can't play the
Yes.
game. Like sometimes I'm weird and I'll do like I'll want to be listening to other things when I
Yep.
play like a game. Like sometimes with Stardew, I'll be like listening to like a podcast or something else.
Yeah.
But with Animal Crossing, you can't really do that because it's
Because you
like
need the
number
sound.
one, the
Yep.
music is so cute that I don't find myself wanting any other
Yes.
background noise when I play it. And you need the sound, like the audio cues for
Yes.
things like fishing and stuff like that.
And then
I think getting the villager pictures was the only thing that would make me
yeah.
mad because I
And
would consistently go back and be like, "Here's a gift, damn it! Here's a gift,
yes.
damn it!" And then they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, here's an apron." And I'm like,
Here's a
"God
trash
damn it!"
can. You're like, okay.
Trash can, the
But what
insult.
also made me rage with
Oh.
Animal Crossing was the
Mhm.
bug catching. But for the
Yeah.
bugs, the beetles that were on the trees, or
Mhm.
like the moths or anything that was attached to the tree, 'cause
The
you
ones where
have
you gotta tiptoe.
yes, because you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
tiptoe and go real slow with your net,
Uh-huh.
and then you're right there, you're
Yep.
like, great. And then when you go and hit it with your net, you're just hitting the tree and the bug, and I'm like, well,
It's like psych.
now I have to wait till next a year to be able to catch
Yeah.
this bug.
Well you can if you want to.
You
If you
could
get
technically
into it, if
cheat.
you can time travel. That's the
Yeah.
other big up that
And
Animal Crossing has
yes.
on Stardew Valley is if you miss something in Stardew Valley, like if you miss a festival or you didn't do this by this time, you quite literally have to wait until
Yes.
it comes back around.
And
And
with
it's not a
them,
year, it's
yeah.
seasons, but
And then Animal Crossing,
same
you
difference, I
can
guess.
time travel, and at
Yeah.
least in City Folk, you had, I forget his name. I'm gonna look it up. That beaver, not a beaver, maybe it was a weasel, but
The one that
um,
was like the worker in the ground
yes,
that would get pissed at you? Yeah. Yeah, his name starts with an R. I can't think of it. Oh my god.
um,
I'm
I
fake. Hold
forget.
on.
I gotta remember. Um, oh,
Because he would get pissed if you didn't
yes,
save or something.
and then I forget his name, but at least in City Folk, he would get like pissed. And again, it's like the older versions; they would get so mad at you. But when you
I
time
was
travel, he would come out
what's
from the
really
ground and like rip you to shreds because clearly it's not
yeah.
the correct day, and he knows that you did that.
Rossetti is the
Rossetti.
name. Rossetti.
Oh,
But
I
you
get
know
it.
what was
Rossetti.
hilarious? You know what
Yeah.
was hilarious? I gotta take this screenshot because it's just funny. I was literally trying to find out. I literally googled name of Animal Crossing character that would get upset if you didn't save, and on the Animal Crossing wiki, the page that came up is literally just titled bullying.
Yes. He
Just
would
bullying.
yell at you. New
Yeah.
Horizons, which is kind of the downfall, but like they wouldn't be as mad.
Yeah.
He'd just be like,
And I don't
"Don't
know
do
if that's
that."
maybe come from, like, I don't know, like, time like, changes of just how people react to certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I feel like maybe if they had the model that they had before now, like, some people would be like, "Oh, my kid got upset," or somebody got upset, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because maybe, like, people
Oh,
are
oh,
realizing how
this
many
one
like,
villager that
obviously,
yeah,
people our age play the game, but, like, younger kids
yeah,
are playing the game too.
yeah,
I
and
guess
it's
they don't
like,
want people
"Oh,
to get upset.
this one villager that's not real called my kid ugly." And it's like, "Okay." Like, it's not real. Like,
Yeah,
that was probably
yeah.
my biggest downfall because I would look back and see all these memes and things, the older ones where they would get pissed off at you or call you ugly
Mhm.
or say, "Really, those shoes?" Like, things like that, and be like, "This is
Really? The whole
hilarious."
shoe?
But
Yeah.
then, yeah, I think it is the time now. Everyone's so sensitive.
Yeah.
But
Well,
with Stardew, I feel like the problem Stardew has is that the dialogue is the same.
yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
guess
I
Animal
mean
Crossing is very similar to that too. Like, you get into like your third year, and then
mhm.
Kent's still asking, "Oh, that new farmer, how's it going?" You're like, "It's year 3. You came back 2 years ago." Or Haley will be like, "Oh, sorry, I don't remember your name." You're like, "I've been here for
I
four
don't
years
remember
now.
your name.
How do you not
But I
remember?"
wonder if it improved. Does it improve? Because I don't I honestly, I'm it's funny because in Animal Crossing, I'm so social with the villagers, but I feel like in Stardew like, I do interact,
Yeah,
but I feel like I'm more like, I tend to talk to less people, and here's the whole thing, it was like, it's also the fact that the Stardew map, I guess, is just so big, and you
yeah,
never really know where people are.
yeah. I have to
Like, with
Google
Animal
it. Yeah,
Crossing, you know exactly where they are because you're like, "Oh, here's so and so's house, here's so and so," you know what I
yeah,
mean? And somebody is always like, if you can't find one villager, chances are you know where to look for them, like,
yes.
they're probably just, like, I don't know, in the museum or, like, at the beach, like,
It's
it's not it's
small.
easier to
Yeah,
find them. Like, with Stardew, it's just, like because everybody's so little and pixelated, and there's just, like, a giant
yes.
map with, like, different things, I just feel like if you can't find somebody and there's
There's
no, like, reward system either for, like, the social interaction, like, I guess you
there
can there
is
is, like,
yeah.
with the hearts,
Yeah, you do
but
get
you
the
don't
hard events, but then I think it's part of the completion. So, like, if you
yeah,
want to complete it 100%,
yeah,
then you need 10 hearts with everybody. So I try my
yeah,
best, and I have to Google. They have like a whole wiki, and I will
mhm,
Google like certain people and see what their loved gifts are. But it also
yeah,
tells you like where they are and what times. But again, the map is so big, so it'd be like, oh, well, Elliot, he's usually at his cabin at between these hours, except when it's raining. When it's raining, he's here, and he's never in the saloon. And then if you want to catch him here, then it has to be this time in the winter. And you're like, okay,
yeah,
like that's a lot.
and if you wanna catch Marnie at her shop working, good luck.
Good luck.
Good
She
luck,
works
good
like
luck.
once a week. And Clint too. I have a problem with him. Like, oh, I have
Yeah.
so many geodes, and then I'll go and it's like Tuesday and he's just not there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worse as it goes on. I feel like it is. I feel like in the first couple of years that you play, he is posted in that spot, and he
Yes.
don't move. And
Uh-huh.
then you get to, like, year 3, and then he's just, like, not there
Hmm.
some days. Like, he pulls, like, a Marnie and is just, like, not
Yep.
working some days. I'm
But at
just like,
least like and
"Well,"
with Stardew
he's like,
it's
"I earned my time. I'm
yes.
taking a day off."
And with Stardew it's nice because it came out in 2016, but they just released the
Mhm.
update. So like
Yeah.
they did give us a whole bunch of stuff, and then Marnie has that whole calendar or catalog. So you can purchase things when she's not there, which is really nice. But
Yeah, thank God for that.
yes.
They got feedback. This things in this update make me realize that they care about the feedback. I
Yeah.
think maybe a little bit more than like Nintendo does about the feedback
Oh
from
yeah.
certain things with Animal Crossing. Because with certain things that are like either glitchy or unfixable, they're just like, yeah, sorry. Like they're just like
That's the
they just
game.
gave up on updating. Like they for the first like year or two when Animal Crossing came out, they would update it and be like, this event's gonna happen now, or we
Yeah.
fixed this. And now they're just like, no, sorry, good luck.
Yeah.
We're on moving on to other things.
And you're like,
Whereas this update in Stardew, they listened.
yep.
I feel like and fixed a lot of issues and
And they
really
brought
like patched
yeah.
up. certain things
And they did bring
that
a
needed to be
lot
fixed.
more to the table. With the
Mhm.
updates, there's obviously new outfits for the wintertime, but there's also new
Yeah.
crops. There's like extra side characters now, new fish that you can get. Like there's so
Yeah.
much more. The fact that it came out in 2016 and they're still doing things with it
Mhm.
makes it a good game.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
is
they
one
they they listen to
yes.
their audience.
And it's one of those
New
games where you
There's
just
even,
get
like, a new
lost.
farm type.
Yep. Which part of
Yeah.
me wanted to start over, like
Yeah.
do a whole new save with the new farm type, but I'm already
Mhm.
halfway through my current save, so I was like, eh,
Oh, and they listened about the dialogue because it does say I brought up, like, the actual, like, illustration where they show, like, what actually did change, and it says 100 plus new lines of dialogue,
oh
so
nice, good.
yeah.
Because you do
But what
after
were
a
you
while,
gonna
it's like,
say? I think I cut you off there a little bit.
yeah,
Sorry.
it is nice because Animal Crossing, like once you hear like the third time, you're like, okay, you say this every time.
Mhm.
And even
Yep.
Stardew was like that. I think I'm on the third year. I'm like, Haley, like you asked me 10 times what my name was. Or like Pam just talks about every time she's at the bar, oh, get me around, kid. Or, you're like, okay.
No, I love when you it's funny though, the system of, like and both games have this, but I just think the physics of it is so funny, like, obviously suspension of disbelief, and it's fake, it's a video game, obviously,
Yeah.
but I just think it's so funny the way the thing gets sent in the mail. Like, you just open up
Yes.
the mail and it's like, "Here, have this, kid," and it's like Pam sent you a beer in the mail.
Yes. And I love like George sends me like a leak because that's his favorite thing. And you're like,
Yeah, yeah,
okay. But
yeah,
you
or,
do
like,
get
the
your
whole
recipes and your nice things. But yeah, you just, or
true,
like,
or, like, the secret
Demetrius will
notes
send me
or
a
whatever.
fish. Yeah.
What did Demetrius give you?
A fish. Because sometimes he will
Hey,
ask, they will ask you sometimes, like, you can help them do certain things. So sometimes he'll be like, oh, there's an overpopulation of, like cod. Can you fish up 10 cod?
yeah,
And then you
yeah,
have like 5 days to do it. So I think
yeah,
that's why he's like the scientist guy. So I'll randomly he'll be like, here's a sea bass. You're like, no,
yeah. It's like,
bring back the
stop.
PTSD
What's the?
from the Animal
I
Crossing
hope
days.
it's a C plus or whatever the
Yeah, oh
thing is
yeah.
from.
It's not a,
Uh,
or
no, speaking of things that made me rage in Animal Crossing, sea bass.
sea bass.
Sea bass.
And that's literally,
I never thought I would hate fish
yes.
so much because especially when I was like whatever that fish was. I can't think of the one that you catch in the rain. That's kind of like the black and like blue on it. You
Yep.
can only coelacanth. I want to say it's a coelacanth. I could be
Hmm.
wrong. But when I
Yep.
was just trying and trying to catch it, I'm like, now the rain's getting lighter. I'm like, I don't know,
Yes.
because that's the whole thing. You have no, and both games also have this in common. There's no indication of the weather. You just wake up and
Yes.
it may be sunny one day, it may be rainy the
Yeah, and at
next, which is
least
good
like,
because I guess which is good because I think if they like planned it, like if you had like a calendar and was able to tell,
yeah.
that's also unrealistic because it's like, who can predict the weather? Nobody. We're not
Yeah.
weathermen. Anyway, I would go out and try to catch that one fish
Yep.
that you can only catch in the rain, and then I would see the rain getting lighter and lighter, and I would think that I would have a good fish, and then it'd be like sea bass.
Sea
Like,
bass.
cool. I only have like 20 of these in my bag.
Yeah, and I can
like, thank you.
only fish for maybe like 10 more minutes before the rain stops. But at least with
Yeah.
Stardew, they do give you like you have a TV. So you can at
Mhm.
least know ahead of like the day before that it's going to rain, which is nice because then you can say, okay, there's a chance of rain tomorrow. This is what I can do. But it's completely random, which is nice. So it's not a set thing like every time. And I really like Stardew and Animal Crossing because of the fact that when it is wintertime, like it's snowing. Like in Animal Crossing, I think they had, oh, you could build this. Do you remember you can build like all the snowman and stuff?
Mhm. Yep.
And so
And then
you
when
would
you get the
wake up and
critique
you'd,
of like, it's
yeah.
not a perfect snow.
Oh, that made me rage too.
I
Because then
hate
you,
that.
oh no, what
Now we're just
made me
discovering what
rage,
makes us
and you'll
truly
get
mad.
this too, Easter. Like the Easter bunny in Animal Crossing.
Go away.
Oh my god.
That ugly bitch. Go away. I don't
Yes.
like him. I don't know what
Oh,
he is. I don't know who he is
I
because
don't
everybody
know.
points out that he has a zipper in the back, and
Yes.
everybody has
Wait.
a theory that he might be the guy that sells the art, which wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, Red.
Red. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. There we go.
Well, and
See,
then
I played
also like
800 hours of it, but I can't remember their damn names. But
yes,
yes,
but
Red.
also when you would because there's that theory he does have a zipper in the back because when you go
Yeah,
up from behind him
because
and try and
he's
click on
literally
him,
named Zipper.
yes, and then when you go up behind him to try and like, you can never fully get behind him because every time you go behind him, he like turns around. But when you get close enough to the back, he's always like, "Hey," like
Yeah, he gets offended. Yeah.
he's trying to hide his identity, which would make sense as to why he's Red. I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but then there's a bunch of theories. Like I've heard, like obviously people on the internet will just make whatever type of like theory they
Yeah.
want. But I've heard Red. I've heard some people say that it's Tom Nook. I've heard some people say that it's Isabel.
I
I've
don't
heard
think
some
it.
people say that it's like I don't know. I feel like Tom Nook's not
I don't
probably because he's probably doing other things. I don't know.
gamblings. He's doing something.
Game
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like he would have a gambling.
collecting the debt of everyone.
Yeah, going around collecting debt. Um, Isabel, I don't think would
being a
do it.
capitalist.
I don't think Isabel would do it. Maybe if Tom Nook was like, "Hey, can you please just like
Yeah.
every Easter?" Maybe she would be
The only
nice
reason
enough.
people thought that it was Isabel was because of the way he just like bounces around and like kind of dances. Like people were
Mm,
like, "That's kind of giving like maybe like an
yeah,
energy of Isabel." But when they said Red, I was like, "Yeah,
that
that
makes more
motherfucker
sense.
probably would."
And that's
Honestly.
probably why he's so like, don't like, nope, get away.
Well, yeah, because with
Because
Red's
why
whole thing, is the scheme
the
of it
scheme?
all. You know what I mean?
So
Like
it
he'll
would
give you a
make
fake
sense
painting and
there.
be like, "Oh, this is only like $2 million. It's a steal." I'm like, "No, it's not. Go
It's
away."
not. And then in Animal Crossing, in the newer, like New Horizons, it was a lot easier to tell when something was fake because
Uh huh.
it'd be like, oh, a pearl
Yeah.
necklace on something on like the Mona Lisa, and you're like, okay. Oh no,
Yeah.
in New or like City Folk, there was no way. First of all, it's pixelated
Yeah, I
as
was about
fuck
to say the
because
weed. Number one, the quality you could never
the
tell.
quality is so bad.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a way to zoom into the paintings like you could to check it out. So you're basing it
No, I don't
off
think the
of
Wii
what
had that
was
function at
just
all.
no. So like
No.
you're seeing whatever is sitting on the easel, and so like
That's wild though.
not. So you literally just have to buy it and hope that it's correct. But at least in New
Uh-huh.
Horizons, you can like zoom in and like sort of be able to tell. Some of them were
Yeah.
more obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, and in Stardew Valley, one of the things I love and I hate at the same time is all the
Mhm.
storylines.
All the stores, you said?
All the storylines.
Those storylines.
Yes, like
Yes. Yes.
they really.
There is
Ooh,
no reason for all that.
there is.
I
Oh
was
my
like
god.
telling my one friend who was like thinking of playing it, um, and I was telling him like all the tea about like there is drama in
Oh
Pelican Town. Let
yes.
me tell
There's
you,
so much drama.
like on net, like I didn't even like the more you get into it, I was just like, huh?
Oh yeah.
Excuse me?
Me and my
Like
coworkers
there
talked
is,
about it. Yep.
yeah,
Well, first of
there
all,
is.
they have
Yeah, go ahead.
for people that never played it. Like you start
Yeah.
off, obviously you don't know anyone, and your goal is to like get as many hearts with people and become friends, and then you can
Yeah,
complete
you
everything.
inherit your what? Your grandfather for the
It's your
backstory of
grand,
this,
yeah,
you inherit your grandfather passes away and you inherit the farm from him
yes,
and then you're like the quote unquote like you're new in town, you're the new
yeah,
person in town and you're the farmer and then you just gotta build up relationships and get to know people and as you talk to people and get
you
to
get
know their inner relationships and their quirks and their personality traits and their vices, I would
yes,
say.
yeah, and then
That's
so
the
like
news every time
every
come up,
few
but it
hearts, I
does.
think it's like the 4 heart event, and then the 8 heart
Mhm.
event, and then like I think
Yeah.
the last one. Like
Mhm.
Shane, first of all, Shane's storyline is
Yeah.
incredibly sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like spoilers for anybody that's never played it. But like
Yeah,
clearly he's
spoilers for both games,
yeah,
for any aspect of both of the games as you're listening to
yes.
this.
Shane's clearly he's drunk. He's always at the saloon. He's always drinking. He has that terrible attitude. And you notice that a lot with people who are alcoholics, they just kind of have negative attitude towards like everybody. And then so he's like, you can tell he's an alcoholic. When you go
Yeah.
into his house, like he's Marnie's nephew,
Mhm.
when he goes in, when you go into the house and you can see everybody's room, like there's bottles everywhere. He's messy. There's clothes everywhere, and you're like, this guy's disgusting. Like, okay. And then you get to like the 4 heart event and the 8 heart event. I'm like, the one event I had, he's like passed out on a cliff in Pelican
Yeah.
Town.
Yeah.
And then so you walk over and you wake him up, and then he's like, I don't want to live anymore, and I just can't do this. And wouldn't it be so easy just to like right here, here's the cliff, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm just trying to get home because it's 1 o'clock and I don't want to pass out and get my stuff taken by Harvey and whoever else steals my things when I pass out.
Yeah.
And
And then he has a
now,
chance
and
of
now
like
I feel like I
losing
want to bawl
something.
my eyes out because he's wanting to end his own life. And you're
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, okay.
And if you thought this pixelated game only had one alcoholic, you would
There's
be
two,
wrong.
and she's a bus
There's
driver,
two, and she's the
and
bus
she's
driver.
the drunk bus driver.
She's the bus driver,
She
and
is,
there's nobody else that can
and
drive
there's
this.
no,
No, you ever
no
see that meme that's like, who's driving this bus? It's
bus.
Pam,
It's Pam.
unfortunately.
And then you're like, I never thought of it, but it's like, oh yeah, she's the town drunk. And she's
Yeah,
also the bus driver. And she's
yeah,
driving me across town to the
yep,
desert.
yeah.
Is she going to
I guess
make it?
I guess it'd be too real if there was like a storyline where it was like, oh, Pam had a little too much today, and then the bus crashes, and then you lose.
And then
Like,
you're in some
but
other
they knew that
random.
there was a line. They knew there was a line that they
Yeah.
shouldn't cross because
No.
obviously they wanted things to be, I guess, like have some type of like emotional
Yes.
ping, like ouch, like that hurts to them,
Yes.
but like I guess they don't want to like that would be crossing a line,
That.
and I guess like
But
straight up like triggering
yeah.
people. You know what I
And
mean?
then
Like
I
God
always,
forbid if somebody plays it and
yeah.
they've like been in an accident, like I
Yeah.
get they know the line to tread, even though
Yes.
this game gets real deep for no
Yes.
reason.
Shane's storyline, it cuts really deep.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
obviously Pam, she's a drunk, and I feel so bad. She has a daughter, Penny,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
living
But
with,
then you get the option. But then you get the option later on to get them a house,
yep,
which is
and she's
very
still
nice.
drunk after that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sort of. She says she's working on it, but then I see her at the saloon every time I go
Yeah.
in with a beer. So is she really working on it? No.
Mm.
But I feel so bad for Penny because then that's a whole
Yeah.
storyline of like you have a parent that's an alcoholic. You're
Yeah.
an only child, so now you're having to fight with a parent who's constantly drunk.
Yeah.
They have their moments where they're fighting. That's a whole storyline. I feel so bad for Penny. And
It's too deep. Like,
it's
who
so,
thought
yes.
that this would come from? That's what I mean. Like, I guess you can argue, like, of the two, like, on the surface, obviously Stardew does look like a game that would be appropriate for. I honestly don't know if there'd probably be an age where I'd be like, you probably shouldn't play it if you're like under a certain age,
Yeah. I don't
because you're
know
gonna
if
be
it is
exposed to pretty like
set.
emotional
Yeah.
things. I don't think it has a rate. I don't know if it has a
I don't
rating.
know
It
if it
probably
has a
like
rating.
I don't know how PC games work as far as rating. Yeah, physical copies of games like
Yeah.
early on, like when I had like a PlayStation, like an OG PlayStation when I was
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, I don't
But
know,
of the
but
of the two, if you're comparing Stardew Valley with the latest Animal Crossing New Horizons, New Horizons is a lot more family friendly.
yes.
I'd say.
And then so you have Pam's storyline. She's a drunk bus driver. Really love that
Yeah.
for us.
Mhm.
Shane's drunk and lives with his aunt and his niece or his
Yeah.
sister, I guess. His Jazz's sister, I think
I
so.
think it's a sister. Yeah. I want to say.
And
Yeah, because
then yeah,
Martha
Marnie's his
doesn't have.
aunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
Okay.
like during the cutscene, he's like drunk and he's like, I can't do this. The cliff's right here. And of the options you have like basically get your shit together, do it
Yeah.
for Jazz. There's so much more to live.
Right. Jazz is the
But then
little
there's
girl.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there's the one option that's like, okay.
Okay.
Like, I don't think that's
Sorry, dude, not my
exactly, like
problem.
I don't think that's exactly what I can't remember.
I don't know if I've gotten that. I probably have gotten that cutscene. I've also sunk so many hours in Stardew that it's become kind of like better,
Yes.
honestly. But then also, if you want to speak about other things that are like inappropriate, they also have like sexual themes in that, which I did not expect
Me neither.
to occur, with the whole like Marnie having an affair with the mayor.
Yes.
What? Like, hello? Like, she have to like you find his like shorts like at her house. Like, okay,
Yes,
like,
but here's the thing. He's telling you get a letter in the mail saying,
yeah.
"Hey, can you potentially find my shorts? My box. I
he
don't know."
said he said the farmer knows all. I'm gonna read. He's like, I can't find my my
Yes.
boxers, my boxer briefs, my Fruit of the Looms. I'm gonna reach out to the local farmer.
Yes.
That's so
And
bizarre.
then
I'm
so
gonna
he
send a
has
letter
the
in the mail saying,
audacity. Here's the thing.
"Psst, can you find my drawers?" Like, what?
Yes. And then you're looking all over for them, and then they're in Marnie's bedroom. Why he couldn't just
Mm,
go to Marnie and be like, "I think I left my underwear at your house or my shorts, or whatever." She would have been more than
Louis,
happy to like slip them back to him somehow. No, you have to.
Lewis had other things to do that day. Okay, he's the mayor of Pelican Town. He's got
He's
responsibilities.
got
He can't just
responsibilities.
go.
He's collecting taxes as well. He has no time to find his own shorts. Um,
Clearly,
and then you have to be friends with Marnie. So if you're not friends, it's going to take you forever
right?
to
Because you
get.
can't. Yeah,
So
because that's the whole thing with certain villages. You have to reach, like how in Animal Crossing, how you have to level up friendships to get certain things. In this, you have to level up to like if you're not a certain level of friendship with them, if you try to enter their house, or the veteran will say you're not close enough with Marnie to
yeah,
do this. You know,
yep.
so
And then
Stardew, everything's a grind in Stardew if you think
yes,
about it. Every little part of it's a grind, which is wild because they want everything to be a grind, but they're also like, oh my god, you only get 5 hours to do.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
and yeah, there's only a certain amount of days
Yeah,
before. Yeah, so
the season
Shane,
ends. Yeah,
let me see if I can find Shane's one thing, his
yeah.
party event. Like,
Have you gotten the thing about Pierre too, with his whole family issues as well?
no, tell me.
No. Well, this is maybe I guess this is even like a spoiler for you, but you'll probably bring it up. Pierre basically they admit at one point has like a porn addiction.
Oh yes, I did see that on
Yeah,
Gab's
yeah,
stream. Yep, yep. And
yeah,
then I
yeah.
do
So
remember
like,
there's the option that's like, please don't, please don't tell my wife. And you're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Because it's basically like at every event, like every this is a reoccurring theme. Every time there's like a festival or a special event or whatever, he's always posted at the stand,
yep.
and then his family, like Caroline, and I forget the Caroline and the oh my god, what's the girl's name with the purple hair? I can't think of it.
Oh,
That's his daughter. I can't
yep,
think of her name.
yep.
Horrible gamer, fake fan.
Big
That
fan.
played numerous amounts of hours of this game.
Yes.
Abigail, there you go.
Yep.
But Caroline and Abigail are basically always like talking to
Complaining.
everybody and
Yep.
enjoying their time and everything, and then he's always like by his lonesome. And then
Yes.
Caroline, you get this before you actually find out what's going on, but you always get this voice line from Caroline when she's like, "I just wish that Pierre would spend more time with
And
his
his
family."
family. Yep.
And then later on, you find out about something with like magazines or something that he's got like a stat.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
basically,
Yep.
he's got like a porn like stash of like pornography. I'm just like, what?
I
Like
know.
every like,
Yeah. So
like
Shane's heart event where he's like on the cliff
mm-hmm.
and he's talking about ending it all. Here's your
Yeah.
options. There's so much to live for. Jazz, you're like a father to her. It's a sin. And the last one, it's your
It's a
choice.
sin.
It's your
It's
choice,
a
but I'm
sin.
here for you. It's your
It's your
choice.
choice, but I'm here for you. Oh boy,
I mean, I'm glad you're here for him, but do not say it's your choice because if someone's on the deep end and you're saying it's your choice,
they're gonna jump off.
they're
Like,
probably going to do that.
yeah,
Yeah, I do remember the
it's a
whole porn
sin.
addiction
It's a
thing.
sin is a
Yep.
wild because I know they mean like saying like the religious thing like goes against God, like don't do that.
Yeah.
But if you're from around where we live in Philly, that's also another way of saying what a shame. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a
Oh,
sin.
it's a
So that's how
sin. That's
that's
how I
how
took it. Yep.
that's how I literally took it. But I think their context in the game is them trying to convince him through like a religious lens, which I think wouldn't work for Shane anyway, because he
No.
doesn't come off as like a religious type. But
No.
the way it was just funny, that's how I interpreted it, was like, oh, it's a sin.
Yes. And then
Oh
you
man.
have you have Harvey, and nothing really goes on with him, but it does tell you at
No.
one point that his business is really bad. So like, why would
Yeah.
I want to trust
He's like
you?
financial issues.
Yeah. So why would I want to pick you as my husband if your situation is that bad?
Yeah.
And then you have
I mean,
Sam.
I'm a good old spinster. I'm just looking for Krobus to be my roommate. That's my one goal. I
Yes.
can't wait for that to. I
I want to
want that
see
to
what
happen
that's
so bad.
like.
I would think it'd be so
Yeah.
funny because we've only seen him under the sewer, and apparently, if he does become your roommate, though, his room becomes modeled after what the sewer.
Oh, you have
I
to
just
do
think
that and
that's
just tell me
so
how.
funny. I just think that's so funny. Obviously, it's not a romantic partner, and it's not like an option for the kids. And I just thought it was
Yep.
funny that that was an option. So I was like, oh, that's what I gotta do. But
Yes.
yeah, but you have a boo in the game, do you
Yes,
not?
I'm married to
Yeah,
Elliot. And honestly,
that's the long
he's a
haired
good
poet.
husband.
Yes.
He's the standard like good guy husband that you would think.
Yeah.
And again, it cracks me up because
Mhm.
Elliot has like the luscious hair, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes like I'll talk to him in the morning, he'll be like, oh, "Honey, I had the worst dream that you shaved off all my hair. Please, it's a nightmare. Please tell me you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that, would
It's
you?"
like,
And you're
okay,
like, "Okay,
Samson.
I know."
Like like the story of like Samson, like cut off his hair.
Yep.
It's like a superpower.
Yeah, and then so you have Elliot's pretty normal. Can't stand
Mhm.
Alex to save my life. He's misogynistic, piece of shit. Like he's
Yeah.
so like first of all, he's always
He's the typical
douchebag, like
like dude
white kid.
bro,
Yep,
like dude
dude,
bro,
bro.
like you know.
Oh, you could do that? I didn't know you could do that. You're a girl. I didn't think girls could do that. And you're like, no,
Go away.
go
Go
away.
away.
And he's also that guy that in college campuses when it's dead of winter, he's in shorts. Like
Uh-huh.
he would be that guy that's like, I'm not cold. He's like freezing his ass off, but he's not letting us know that. I can't
Yeah.
stand him. But I will say I do feel bad because he does live with his grandparents. And like I think he mentioned that both of his parents died. So like he lives with his grandparents and then George, his grandfather, was like in the army or some form of military and now he's in a wheelchair. So I do kind of feel bad. But he's still like an asshole. I can't stand him. And
But
then
yeah, there's quite a lot of
yep.
bachelors in the game.
Oh yeah,
And then
and
they
I
also
know.
had like a storyline where it was making me almost think they were like, here you could date oh, who's their name? Like one of them they had like a storyline with like, I don't know, I think it was Abigail or I don't know which one, but then it was like this very like intimate cutscene and I was like, I'm good. Corvus is gonna be my roommate. It's all good. I'm
Yeah.
like leaving.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird. I guess they're leaving it up to like interpretation. Obviously, you can
Yeah, yeah,
get like if you're female, you can still go for like the female characters. There was this
yeah,
one
yeah.
scene, and I know Gab, I think she married Emily in her playthrough. I didn't
Mhm.
choose to marry her, but I still got the
Yeah.
same cutscene, obviously. I'm pretty sure it
Okay.
was like a big gay fantasy because like
Uh,
you walk in and I don't know if Emily's sleep. I think it was like Emily's dream. And all of a sudden
Okay.
she's like dancing and there's like rainbows and it's like the gayest thing I've
Yeah,
seen.
no,
I'm
I
like,
got this cutscene
that's
too.
okay.
I think everybody does
Yep.
get the cutscene, and then the option is like, where do you go from
Yeah.
there with it?
And I think because I got it after I was already married, I didn't get the option to say that. But I did
Yeah.
like get her response being like, that was really weird. And she's like, that's really weird. And you're like, I'm married and also not
Sorry.
gay. But
Sorry, girlie, I'm married.
my favorite thing is because you know how you have the secret notes and stuff.
Yeah.
And my favorite is like go to this one bush at midnight on this day,
Mhm.
and then you go, and all of a sudden you just see Marnie pop out of the bushes and like run,
Yep.
and then you just see Lewis just come out too, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
you're just fucking in the bushes
My
over
thing
there.
is, who's that town instigator that was like, "Go this place, and you'll
Yes,
see
you
the."
never find
You know what I
out
mean?
who those notes are from, but somebody knows at this time during certain times of day. They just know that Marnie and Lewis are fucking, so they're like, go watch them. Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny. And then it's
Oh
funny too
man.
because once you take Lewis's shorts, you can give
Mhm.
them back to him, and then he's like, "Oh, thank you." And then next day in the mail, you get like 2,500 gold or something for like giving back his underwear. But you can
He said, hush money.
don't. Well, who's gonna really care?
Literally.
Like I don't
I
think
know.
he knows enough about his town folk, but who's gonna care?
Clearly, from what we've been talking about, everybody has their own struggles in
Yes.
Pelican.
No one's gonna care that you're with Marnie.
Uh huh.
Maybe Jazz and Shane would think it's weird because they're family, but like no one else is gonna really care.
Yeah.
And then you can also hold on to Mayor Lewis's shorts. You can put them in your Grange display for everyone to see. So in the fall, when they're judging like who has the best Grange display, and
Mhm.
he goes over and judges all of them and sees the shorts are there, and then he goes, "Okay, see me for your results." And then you go up to him, and he's like, "Don't ever do that again. Fine, here's like 2,500 gold. Like, don't ever do that again."
Yeah.
You can also put it in the soup in the summertime, the luau soup. You can put his shorts in there too. There's so much you can do just with Mayor Lewis's shorts. You can make your own version of the shorts with a sewing machine and wear them about.
Oh, that's
And
wild.
he like comments
That's
on
wild.
it, like, "Where'd you get those?" And you're like,
Where'd you get,
"It's so like he's so hot and bothered by
where'd
the
you get
shorts."
those? You
But
told me to
sir,
go retrieve them, my
yes,
dude. What do you mean?
you cannot sit there and be
What do
mad
you
at me
mean?
that I'm hiding your shorts in places when you left them and you told me to
The
go get
drama.
them. So I had to go all the way
The
to Marnie's
drama.
place.
Pelican Town is messy.
It's messy. And then you
But
have
I guess
like,
just to kind of. Oh, wait, go ahead, sorry.
oh,
Keep cutting you
Sam. You
off.
have Sam, whose dad wasn't around in the first year because he's off in the army.
Yeah.
And so the second year he comes back. So they're like, then that's a whole dynamic of like, I haven't seen my dad in a whole year now. It's awkward.
Mhm.
And then his dad has to get used to life back in the regular folk, you know. That's a whole thing. Like, everyone has their own story line. And it
Mhm.
makes the game so much fun, but it does make you really like, damn, like you really did, like you really had to put all those storylines in there and make me want to like cry.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't expect that to go in, and I just thought it was just gonna be happy-go-lucky, little
Yeah.
pixel people running around,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of this. Like, Animal Crossing is
Yes.
so tame in comparison. Like, in Animal Crossing, they're just like, I don't know, worried about like, "Oh, I gotta go to the museum and do this."
Yeah, I'm gonna go stare. I'm gonna
Their
go
problems. No,
fishing.
does anybody
Yeah.
have? I don't think anybody has problems in a
No.
Animal Crossing.
Although I do have a problem with Lyman. Do you remember him? My God. Because in New
Why? They're
Horizons, the way it works is that if you're getting rid of somebody and you
uh-huh.
have a friend that's looking for somebody, then it shows up in your tent.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
or
So I got him
not
first.
even the tent. Sometimes it's just the next day you
They
just
just did
have
move in.
somebody. So I
They
don't
just
even
straight
get to
move in.
go to my tent. So you got
Yep.
rid of Lyman.
I
Like,
did.
fuck him
I
because we
did.
don't like
Didn't
Lyman.
like him.
Didn't like him.
Didn't like him.
First
Sometimes
of
I'm
all,
sorry.
that
It's kind of it's kind of shallow and it's kind of based on looks, but this is an ongoing thing with other people that play Animal Crossing. Look, because the main thing is there's not a lot of depth. It's not a lot of like with Stardew Valley, like with storylines, writing, yada
yeah.
yada. A lot of it is just they're cute animals, or there are not so cute animals.
And
And Lyman happened
and
to be one that I was like, oh, I
absolutely
just don't
not.
like you.
First of all, his unibrows terrible
I
because
forgot he had a unibrow.
he has a unibrow.
I forgot he had a
Now,
unibrow. Oh,
unibrows, like his eyebrows are so arched, like
yeah.
arched like a rainbow, like perfectly arched and just mushed together. Like he's so ugly. He's so ugly. And you were pissed off at him. And you're like, I
Oh.
finally am getting rid of him. And
In every
during
other aspect of life, I'm like, please don't comment on people's appearances or don't talk bad about people in that way. But in Animal Crossing, all of that goes out the window.
I just saw a meme and it's Lyman and he's thinking to himself, should I get my eyebrows waxed? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you should. And of course, so
If you're debating, the answer is always
you
yes.
shouldn't even debate. You should just go for it. But
Just go.
you were getting rid of him. And because of the way it works, if you have friends that are also looking,
Yeah.
sometimes people that you got rid of would just automatically move into your friend's place.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to
Mhm.
do the method of the tent. And at that
Mhm.
point, I wasn't thinking about it. And I was like, I'll just let it go and let it surprise me. You know?
Yeah.
Let the game
Mhm.
surprise me and see what I get tomorrow. And then I log in, and who is it? Fucking Lyman. And
Fucking Lyman.
I know it's your Lyman because he has the same phrases that you gave him. So I know he
Yep.
came from your island, and he does
Yeah.
say like, "Oh, I think I remember you from somewhere." And it's like, no,
And you visited my island, so that's
yes,
you put two and two together, and that's how it happened. And I'm pretty sure that happened a couple times because what happened was at one point, we have two switches. Like we have the bigger switch that connects to the TV, and then I have my handheld switch.
yeah,
So I had an island that I shared with my fiance, and then I loved the game so much, and I frequently played it so much. I was like, I gotta get my own island.
yes,
So then I literally got a switch. Again, this is peak in their pandemic, like
yes,
April 2020, and then I was like, I gotta get my own. And then I'm pretty sure that either happened where like he got rid of a villager, or I did, and somebody ended up on somebody's island. So that's what would happen is if you visited somebody's island that frequently, the villager would just show
yes.
up. Somebody else.
And he had
Like,
your like all the phrases that you gave him. He had, and he kept
yeah.
talking about like how he used to live on your island. And I was like, I can't. And
And
his
then you were just
house,
like
god
hitting him
awful.
with the net, like go away, go away,
Yes,
go away.
and oh, you know who I also hated, and I tried so hard to get rid of her for the longest time. Rhonda.
Ooh,
Remember,
Rhonda.
she's the rhino, and she has like the ugly purple hair. Oh
Yeah,
my god, she has the worst.
yeah.
Like her hairline is fucked. She's and her
Oh
eyeliner.
my
Oh my, I could not stand her. And I remember I
god.
blocked her house off so she couldn't move. I put trash next to her.
I was just about to
I
say,
hit her with the
that's another
net.
tactic that I didn't
Oh
know
yeah.
about. If you put trash cans in front of their house, they leave. I didn't know that
Because
until
in
recently.
the old versions of the game, if you just stopped talking to them, eventually they would be like, I'm thinking about leaving. Like, what should I do?
Mhm.
But in the New
Yeah.
Horizons, they don't leave unless you basically force them to leave. You had to
Yeah.
really like force them to leave. So I was
Uh-huh.
putting trash. I blocked her so she couldn't leave her house. I was hitting her with the
Yeah.
net and she was getting angry with me. Finally, she was like, I want to leave. And I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Yeah.
when Lyman came in right after. And I was
Uh-huh. So why don't we pick because we can't go through all the villages. It would probably take long, and we want to
like, oh,
rant
yeah.
about every single one. But why don't we each pick our favorite villagers from our island?
Oh, yeah.
I know mine.
I
I
got to
know
look
mine.
up. It's been a while. Let me see what. I have a list of them somewhere.
I know mine,
Who's
and I
your.
got lucky. He's my OG. I love Axel.
I love Axel.
I
I
love
love
Axel.
him. He's
He's
great.
weird. He's wacky.
Yes.
He places things in his house that don't make sense, and he literally will block things off. Like I don't know if it's just like because he's like the jock type. He's just
Yes.
kind of maybe stupid. I don't know, but he's
Yeah.
like the definition of like the term like a himbo. I love him.
Yes.
I was lucky. Some people got OGs and they were horrible and they didn't like them and they
Oh,
got rid of
yeah.
them immediately. No, I kept him from the beginning. I was like, he is so wonderfully dumb. I love him so much. He's
Yes.
funny. He's just kind of like this big, like, goofball just
Goofball.
walking around.
This
That's
goofball
the
jock
thing,
guy. But
like,
like the nicest, like Oh, and
And then he
he
also kind of has, like, a weirdly off-putting smile, but it's just, like,
Yes,
part of the
yeah.
charm.
Like, he's trying really hard to, like, smile, and it's kinda creepy looking, but, like, in the most
Yeah.
endearing way. I love it.
Yeah, and he's, just for the visuals, he's a blue
Elephant?
elephant.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's an elephant, and,
My
his
my
hobby is fitness. That's what it says when you just look it up. His hobby is
Yes.
fitness.
So, my OG well, how many OGs do I think
You get 2 when you start.
I can't
You
remember
always get
who
2.
my OG was.
My other OG was it Sylvia? I wanna say Sylvia the kangaroo was my other OG.
Um,
Yeah,
I
the purple
think Teddy
kangaroo.
was
I got kinda tired of her. I don't know. I was like, 'cause she's like the sisterly type or whatever
yeah,
it's called.
but they're
And the one
boring.
that I always wanted, yeah, but the one I always wanted from that group was, Cherry, the dog that's like like red
Yep.
and black, and has like kinda like the goth, like punk
Yes.
look. I haven't gotten her yet. That's a villager that I still
Yep.
want, so this podcast is probably gonna make me wanna revamp and
I
open up my game
know,
again.
yes.
But,
Oh, I know my
I know that
OG.
there's a few that I still haven't gotten rid of that I think I would, but I need to get
Yeah.
their photos. See, that was
Yes.
my main thing is if I got a villager that I kind of liked, even if I was like, "Meh," I'm still
Yeah.
like, "No, I gotta get your photo before I kick you out."
Yes.
But yeah, if I had to pick my favorite, Axel's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, my OG, I can't remember my second OG. My first OG was Hamlet, and he's
Oh my
just
god,
like the
yeah.
chunkiest, cutest hamster.
Is he your favorite? Or do you
He's
think
not my
is he
favorite. He's my favorite like OG, but my favorite
yeah,
is Stitches.
bitches, of
Yep.
course.
And
Little rainbow
I
bear,
would
little
probably get a
rainbow bear.
tattoo of him. If I picked a villager to
Yeah,
get a tattoo
yeah,
of, it would be Stitches.
yeah.
But
Can you imagine
Hamlet,
if I had a tattoo of Axe?
no, you need to
Come
get
up
a
again.
tattoo of what's his
Who
face?
is it?
The one that the beaver
Huh?
that's in the water.
Oh, oh my god, yeah, he's my favorite NPC.
Yes,
Pascal. Oh my god,
Pascal. Yep.
love him. I love him so much. It's funny because then you realize that him and like the character of like the dog are like kind of modeled after like Cheech and Chong.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, because they're basically and that's Pascal. Anytime he says any phrase, he goes man, and I'm pretty sure
man.
that was like a Cheech and Chong thing.
Yeah.
Like one of them would say man. But
Yes.
yeah, if I had to pick my favorite NPC, he's my favorite NPC,
Yep.
and then my favorite villager is Axel.
Yep.
I even
And
have a favorite of one of your, but well, not favorite, but if I could, okay, out of like, I don't know if you remember, I gotta, we would
I have
probably have
my
to have a
list
list
up.
up. Yeah. So if I could probably take, you know, what villager of yours that I always liked? Klaus.
I
I
love
love
him
Klaus.
so
I
much.
love
He's
Klaus so
great.
much.
So first of all, his personality is smug.
Uh huh.
He's a
But he's
bear.
great. Some of the
He,
smug ones are assholes, but he's great. I
he's
love him.
great. So he's a bear. He's like this light blue bear, but he has like a
Mhm.
suit of armor on, like a chest plate. And
Yeah.
then I would assume I always thought it was hair, but maybe it's not his hair. Maybe it's just like a
Mm.
helmet type thing. He had like this gold hair thing. He had like the bracelets on that go with like his chest plate, and then he has like the old school like gladiator type shoes.
Yeah, for some reason that's
Ah,
like his theme. That's like the randomest thing I've ever seen
but
though. Like he's just randomly like a gladiator
yes,
and has
but
like a marble house.
his house is marble, but in the
Yeah.
OG, one of the yeah, his house is literally a bathroom.
Yeah.
So it has like he has the toilet, like two toilets in there. He has like a bidet and then the regular toilet, and then he has like a hot tub type thing. And you're like, this is so okay. Yeah, but he is probably one of my favorites, and I love because his
Yeah.
catchphrase is strudel, which makes it like
Mhm.
10 times better.
Strudel.
Strudel,
What
and his
is
hobby is education, which is great.
you know what's wild though? He does come off as kind of like the academic
Yes,
type. Like maybe
maybe
he's
that's
like
the
a
whole
history
point of
teacher.
like
Think
his
about it, he's a history teacher.
a history buff.
Like the
Yeah,
whole like yeah. Mhm.
and then also Claude. He's the bunny with the
Yeah.
unibrow, the squiggly unibrow. He's also a
Mhm.
top pick.
Yeah,
His
true.
personality is lazy.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We had a couple of lazy villagers. My fiance on the well, it was the OG like island that we had together, and then after I had moved, like after I got my own island too, my fiance got arguably the best lazy villager of them all, Bob. Bob is
Bob. Yes.
yeah. Granted, it was because I did get him the thing for it, like the little like coin, whatever it's called, the amiibo
Oh,
thing
the
for it.
amiibo. Yep.
I did get the amiibo, so it wasn't organically gotten. But nonetheless, Bob is the best, and he was always one of his favorite
Yes.
villagers because I'm pretty sure he had him on his island. I'm pretty sure at one point he did get him like
Organically.
organically
Yeah.
in a different game, and just loved him since then.
Yes.
But yeah, Bob's probably the best lazy villager.
Yep.
But hey, I gotta give Earl to. We're talking about the dudes. I gotta bring up some of the girlies here. I think my favorite female villager that I have is probably Pico. I love her.
Who's that one
The
again?
little panda. The little panda. She's so
Yes.
cute. The little
Yep.
panda. She's probably my favorite. Either her or Deirdre.
I do
Deirdre's
love
just like
Deirdre. I think out of those,
Deirdre's
she
just
would probably
funky.
be my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, she's so funny. Like she's kind of just like an outgoing, like she's an extrovert, and I just think she's like hilarious.
Yes.
Like she gives no fucks,
Yep.
basically.
Yep.
She's just
I
like,
don't.
"Hey, how you doing?" Like,
So
I
my
don't know.
female villagers, and I forgot that I even had some. I have
Uh-huh.
Diana. So she's the white and like pinkish purple
Oh,
deer.
okay. Mhm.
And then I
Yep.
have Melba, and she's the koala. She's like the pink
Oh,
koala. She was
yeah,
okay.
she's
She's a
cute.
normal personality type. She's just kind of boring. But she was one
Yeah.
of my OG, one of the early ones. I
Yeah.
kept her around. And then I really wanted Try for some reason. She's one of the
Oh, okay.
Sanrio ones, but
Mhm.
I hate
Yeah.
her. So like I don't know why I have her. But she's
I
the
hate her. Why?
so like she's the one with the teacup on her head. I just don't know why I have her. So I need to get rid
Oh,
of her. And I think I'm gonna replace her with Roswell. It
okay.
came from the the amiibo pack you gave me. Um,
Yeah.
he's an alligator and he has like the stripy pattern. He seems cool.
Yeah.
So I'll probably replace her with him. But
Yeah.
I don't really have too many female villagers.
Yeah. I think the one that I definitely probably would go for is the sister villager, the one Cherry, because I just think she looks so cool. Like she's just
I
like a
do like her.
like
Yeah.
dog, like or
I
like
also really
Uchi.
like
That's the type of the
I
it
also
just basically means like sisterly.
yeah, I really like Fauna. Don't you have her?
Mhm. Yeah, I have fauna.
Yeah.
I have fauna. I
But
do.
she's normal. I feel like all the normal types are kind of boring after a while.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, I mean, they're the ones that arguably have like the most like quote unquote bland
yeah.
personality, I guess. But our the OG one that we had on Craig's Island, he has the two twin sisters that are bunnies. He has both of them.
Oh, he has both of them?
Both of them. Yes.
Ah.
Yes, he has Chrissy and then whatever the other one is.
Yes.
I can't think of Chrissy the same way though without thinking of Stranger Things.
Yes.
To be I just hear the name
Chrissy,
Chrissy and I
wake
just go,
up.
Chrissy, wake up! I don't like it. And not I don't even hear him saying it. I
I
hear
hear
the
the
song,
yep.
right? Right?
And it's from the same people that make the Bed Intruder song and the Double
Oh my
Rainbow
god.
song. It's great.
You know, I didn't know that until this moment right now,
Mhm.
and it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
It makes perfect
And do you know
sense.
the song It's Corn?
Yeah.
They make that.
Wow.
They just came back randomly and just made
They're living large,
yep.
honestly.
Oh, but Roswell, the little
Ah.
alligator, his catchphrase is
Mhm.
space. And just space with a bunch of A's.
Also, because I mentioned my favorite villager, but I didn't mention his catchphrase. Axel's catchphrase is "wonk."
Wonk. Yeah, it
W
is. Yep.
WHONK. Wonk.
Yeah, Hamlet
Uh,
is hammy. And for
Hammy.
being such a cute little chunky hamster, his
Mhm.
personality is Jack. But his
Hey.
hobby is play. So there you
Hey,
go.
you can be short and also be a jock, okay?
It's a
It's
yep,
anybody can be a jock,
yes.
okay? If you try hard enough, anybody can
If
be a
you
jock.
try, yeah. And my weirdest catchphrase, well, Diana's is no doy. I don't really
No
understand.
doy,
No
like,
doy,
kind of like no
like
it
like
sounds like something
duh.
that somebody would say yeah, exactly, it sounds like something that somebody would say in, like a decomp from, like, 2003, like,
Yes,
they're like,
the
"Oh,
doy.
we gotta
Yeah,
take a test today." "No doy." Like,
yeah, yes.
like
And then Teddy, he's a
ah,
good one too. Teddy's the jock. He's the big bear, like the
uh,
orangey bear. His catchphrase is
yeah.
"Ruth." Hmm.
Yeah, they really creators of this were really just like, "We're just gonna throw things at the wall and see what
Yeah.
sticks."
Yep.
Like, just any, like, phrase like, these aren't real words, I don't think well, some of them are, but I don't know anybody that's ever said, like, "Wonk," you know?
Wonk or "Groof." Like "Groof" might
Mm.
be a word, but no.
There also, like, could be sounds, I guess, like, a
Oh
lot of, like,
yeah.
"Groof" sounds like a grunt that you would make if you, like,
Yep.
pick something up, like, "Groof," you know?
Yep.
I don't know. Oh, man. These games are wonderful. These games have been
Yes.
comfort to us, no matter how lighthearted or deep they can get,
Yep.
their storylines. Ah,
Yes. They're great.
it's I know,
If
and if you
you
haven't
if
played them,
yeah.
you are missing out. Go do it,
Especially
'cause
like if you just need like an easy game to like pass time.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
these are
they're
definitely good
cozy, that's
games
why
where
they're called
like, oh,
cozy.
I don't have anything to do. Like let me
Yeah,
just hop on and play a little Stardew, and then I do
yeah,
that a lot before bed. I'll play
yeah,
Stardew Valley a lot and just play through like a few days, and I'm like, I'm good.
mhm. They're definitely not high octane games, you know what I
No.
mean? If you're looking for intense gameplay, you might wanna look
Yes.
otherwhere, but otherwhere, I don't know if that's a bird.
And
Anyway, pretty
Stardew Valley, the makers of Stardew Valley are coming out, I think in 2025.
haunted
The
chocolate
chocolatier.
haunted
Yes.
chocolatier. Sounds so good. I can't wait.
I
I
can't
think it's gonna
wait
be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
because it looks just like
It's cute.
it looks like a dark version of like Stardew Valley. Like it's the same
Right, and then
pixelated.
it'll
Yep.
probably be like being in Stardew in the fall, but, like, all year round. That's what
Yes.
I'm thinking the vibes are gonna be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and then
leaves
it
all
does say like
fall, witches, like, that type deal.
yeah, and it's like it does say um is an upcoming confectionery. Where did it go?
I it
Um
just from the name and, like, the previews that I've seen, it basically looks like a cross between, like, being a witch and, like, being Willy
yes.
Wonka,
So it
you know?
says it's a simulation game with action role
Uh-huh.
playing elements. The player's
Yeah.
character runs a confectionery store. The player collects
Can't wait.
ingredients to make chocolate confections while also
Mhm.
interacting with town locals and ghosts. The player can pursue romantic relationships with non or NPCs and can customize the layout of their store. And then there's also combat that the player can have. So it is kind of similar to Stardew Valley, except this time you're owning like a whole chocolate store. So it's going to
Yeah.
really be good, I think, for the October times.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll be downloading it the day it comes out,
Yep.
probably.
Yep.
Yep.
But we have to wait until next year because I think it comes out and there's no release date, but I think they said sometime in 2025.
That's probably why they were like, "Let's push the Stardew update now
Yeah, so
so
that
that we
people are
can just
like,
give them
yep,
something," you know what I mean? To, like, I
yeah.
guess, let us like, while they're enjoying the update of Stardew, we could be, like, perfecting this
Yep.
game. So,
And then they can kind of see how
how
people
kind.
liked like the updates of Stardew. If
Right,
there's
and they
anything in
can't
Stardew that,
bring those
yeah,
bring elements from that into Haunted
yeah,
Chocolatier.
yeah, they started working on it in 2020. The
Okay.
Haunted Chocolatier.
Hey, I'm all for I know it's, like, not like, I know there's the whole aspect of give it to me now, but if you need to take, like, a little extra time, I'd rather have a game that's more, like, perfected than
Yeah,
have to bring it out and, like, patch it, right
yeah,
away or something like that, so
and they have like
we'll be patient. We have a lot of other games to keep our
yes,
interest until then.
they have an FAQ coming out, or they have an FAQ on it,
Mm,
and it says who's making the game, so it's the same people as Stardew Valley. When does it come
Mhm.
out? You can't confirm a
Yeah.
release date. It's early in development, and I want to be able to work in peace without the pressure of release date. And then,
True.
does it
They
take?
said, "Get off our backs, please."
Yeah. And then it says, does it take place in the world of Stardew Valley? I'm not ready to
Yeah.
reveal anything like that just yet.
Yeah.
So it could be.
Could be.
So maybe we'll see some of the characters from Stardew in this one.
Maybe. Maybe it'll be like another town that they're able to go to
Yeah.
or something. Or like a town near Pelican Town or
Yep.
something. Who knows? Ah,
I can't. I'm so excited.
I know. It's gonna be good.
Yep.
It's gonna be good.
So, always gotta end
We're gonna end with the
Facebook
we're,
statuses.
we're,
Or in
we're
my case, I could also,
nostalgia force.
yes, or some bios from my lovely options on Bumble. But no.
I mean,
I will
you
just,
can whatever you want. Whatever you want. It's
so,
the world is your oyster.
13 years ago,
Okay. Wait.
June 13th, 2011.
Okay.
And I am assuming this has to be a commercial.
Yeah.
And I just wrote it out as a status.
Uh-huh.
Because where did this come from? We're in the Sahara Desert. There's sand everywhere, yo.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I was about to Google it. Maybe it's from like a movie.
It's got to be from, I feel like it's a commercial. Like a
Where?
stupid, we're in the Sahara Desert. There's sand everywhere, yo.
It's the yo for me.
It's the yo.
We're in the Sahara Desert. There's sand everywhere. Yo. Let's see. If nothing's coming up right away with the exact quote, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You were like dream destination. I gotta go.
Then where did this come from? I'm so confused.
I don't know. I googled the exact quote, so I feel like if it was from a movie, that it would have came up
even a
with the exact
commercial, like,
quote.
yeah,
Right. Right.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You were just feeling real creative that day, I guess.
But there's
did
no
you
way.
find
Like
it?
that to me reads like a stupid ass commercial.
It must be, and maybe it's just like too niche that the internet's like, I can't find it. I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's one of those that was like a one-off commercial that like aired twice.
Yeah.
That wasn't that popular, but yeah.
Maybe.
There's sand everywhere, yo.
There's sand everywhere.
Yo.
In the Sahara Desert, apparently.
Yep. You heard it here first.
That's up there.
At the desert.
Up there with the alien. That's up there with the alien one that you did.
Oh yeah, the one that was like buckle up so the aliens can't snatch you from your car.
Yeah.
Right. We love it.
I mean, this one, it's funny. It's rare when I get one, like a Facebook memory that can resonate also today. And I don't know if I just was like feeling like dragging myself this certain day. This was from June 13th of 2010.
Oh, God.
So 1 year earlier than your revelation about the Sahara Desert. I said on June 13th of 2010, quote, I don't like my mind. It's stupid. That's the exact status that I made. I don't like my mind. It's stupid.
I think we can all agree.
Girly was going through it. I guess.
What?
Girly was going through it. I don't know.
You were in what? Sophomore year?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe the beginning of sophomore year.
The beginning of high school, freshman year will do it to you, I guess.
I guess, and then so you were either going into sophomore year or going into junior year, and it hasn't turned.
It had to be. It's right at the end of freshman year because 2009 was when I graduated 8th grade. Because I remember like the class shirt that we got and everything said 2009. So
it was the end of freshman.
She was going through it.
Yeah,
she was going through it. Hey,
and then
really, I feel you. Sometimes my mind is stupid now. So
yes,
I would like to say it gets better 2010 me, but I don't know.
Does it? I think we're both on
Does
like
it?
the does it?
In ways, but in ways it stays the same. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes your mind is still stupid. That's okay.
it's okay. I do sometimes feel stupid.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
so 2010 you, I got you.
can't win them all, girlie. It's okay.
No, no you can't.
No, that's the whole thing, though. Even on your most stupidest days, there's somebody out there that is more stupid than you, and
I was
that's
about
confirmed.
to say that. Yeah,
So,
don't feel
so
bad because there's someone out there that's doing worse than you.
yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's motivational. I don't know.
Put that
Take
on a
take
t-shirt.
that. Put that on a t-shirt. Exactly. And
Yes.
and after you put that on a t-shirt, make sure you check out our socials. We have a
Yes.
link tree. We have the TikTok. We have an Instagram.
Yes.
Sorry, I just thought it was funny.
Instagram. Yep.
Yeah.
Done
Hey,
in the
hey.
microwave. Instagram.
Yeah. Seriously, check out our socials.
Yes.
And if you haven't listened to the other episodes, what are you doing? You got to catch up on the lore of us. You have
Yes.
to see how we got to this place
It's
here.
great. It's
Um,
great.
and to do some cozy gaming. You owe it to yourself,
You do.
you know,
Yep.
because it's nice. It's nice. It's calming.
Yep.
It's calming, and sometimes you get tea about pixelated characters that you never thought you were gonna get.
And who
So
knows? Maybe they'll fuck in a bush and you'll find out.
literally, the definition of fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. Walks at 12 a.m. purposely from a note that anonymous note that's saying go to this specific bush at 12 a.m. And you go there and
Mhm.
it's like, whoop, well, I fucked
Mhm.
around and found out.
They found out. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was a good one. That was a
Yes.
good one. We discussed our favorite cozy gaming.
Yes.
And hey, like I said, we got socials linked. We will put them in the link of this episode.
Yep. Go find
And
them.
and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Hope you have a good week. Bye.